r/ask Reddit. What is the worst thing that is legal? Impossibly hard to cancel subscriptions. I hate when companies make you call in to cancel, instead of just offering an option to cancel online. Not the worst thing, but it used to be illegal for commercials on TV to be louder than the actual show, but not any longer suddenly. I hate watching a good show that I don't want someone else to hear at night and then it goes to ads and blows the speakers out. It's infuriating. If I recall correctly, the letter of the law is that the ads have to be no louder than the loudest part of the show. So the ads can be as loud as the one gunshot in an otherwise quiet police procedural. It's a dong move loophole, but they all use it. Big businesses lobbying politicians in order to get bills passed in their favor. There is a company Braum's in Oklahoma that used to sell groceries out of the drive-thru. It was cutting into Walmart's profits, so next thing you know the FDA said they couldn't sell eggs, milk and other grocery items out of the window anymore. Just fast food. Makes no sense to me. It's all food. Edit. Spelling. Edit. After doing further research, I found that it was because Braum's was making the change, not because of any regulation. My apologies. Sorry for the uproar, I was fed misinformation about it. Thanks for everyone who told me otherwise. Linking the article proving me wrong. https://oklahoman.com article/2,883,172/window dressing pajama wearing customer finds drive-thru changed. Classic example of big gov overreach stifling the free market in that liberal bastion of Oklahoma. The size of the X button on pop-up ads. X buttons that do nothing. Or X buttons on mobile that take you to the link anyway. Putting unrelated crap into bills to sneak it into law. I know they're supposed to follow some kind rules related to germaneness, but they clearly don't, and clearly need actual laws with actual punishments for pulling this crap. It should be one bill equals one law. This sneaky crap is horrible. A Scottish politician, Trish Godman, who has since died of old age, tried this a few years back. She added prostitution to be made illegal onto the end of a bill which had nothing to do with prostitution. Actual prostitutes became aware of this, and after heavy opposition the politician removed the addition. Source: and for more info about current law and attempts to change the law, here, https://scot-pep.org, UK. For-profit prisons. I used to lobby at the state level. For-profit prisons would literally lobby against things like early child education and paid family leave because, well, it's bad for business. And to be clear, I did not lobby for private prisons, but did lobby for things like paid family leave and early childhood education. WTF. That is some next level dystopian bullshit right there. This makes my blood boil. Caller ID spoofing. Somebody spoofed my number and my name came up on the caller ID apparently. I got a text from some irritable person demanding why I was harassing them. I tried to explain what spoofing was, but they sent me the screenshot of my name on their caller ID and asked if it was me. I imagine this person googled me and did all kinds of shit and decided I was the bad person in this. I feel like my privacy was totally violated. In that case, I feel like the victim on the other end is the actual spoofer. I can't prove it, but they always seem the most upset over phone calls when they can just easily block you. One time someone called from out of state and said they had missed calls from me. I told them I don't know, man. It's probably that robocall bus shit. Just block my number. I hung up and blocked their number. Child marriage. To tack on, child marriages and where they cannot legally divorce until they are 18. Found out the other day. Excuse me, so you're saying they can be tricked, forced etc into marriage but they aren't considered competent enough to get out? That is an extra layer of ducked up. Hearing a honking sound in a radio commercial. Or sirens. Some car insurance radio commercial had the sound of a ducking car crash. Multi-level marketing. But hun, don't you want to be your own boss babe for life by sharing and distributing our detoxing nutrition drinks that give you 6 of your 5 a day? This whole acting like they're doing the person a favor is why MLM will never die out. At best it'll rebrand as something else. That's why it's been going on thousands of years. I mean, even the ancient Egyptians had pyramid schemes. Scam calls and solicitation calls. I swear they used to be illegal at one point. Scam calls are not legal, they just know how to not get caught. Any pre-recorded sale call can only happen if you give consent. The Indian scam calls, while illegal and annoying, are fun because I like to mess with them. This guy is the best, though. https://yauto b/3ig3wzvc8. A parent keeping their kid from the other parent when there's no good reason to and leveraging the courts to do it. This enrages me so much. How many parents have practically lost their children to narcissists and psychopaths because of this? And because the kids get brainwashed out of a relationship, it's hard to ever get in touch again, even when they have grown out of the other one's reach. Edit. I get teary-eyed both with remembered grief and a little bit of hope from all your comments. Thank you. Keep raising awareness about parental alienation, full custody, unfair laws, etc. The world will hopefully get better someday. Sorry to get personal, but this is a big one for me. My ex got primary custody based on a domestic violence accusation that supposedly happened while she was on the phone with her sister, who served as a witness. Of course, the police showed up and concluded that no violence had occurred. The court believed her version of the events over mine, in spite of a police report concluding no domestic violence, and I lost custody of my kids. After I was in court, I compared the police report with my phone records. My ex called the police before she called her sister, meaning the entire episode was pre-planned. Edited to add, this comment unexpectedly received a lot of attention. No, this was never corrected and there is no legal way for me to do so. My lawyer says the only way to go back to court and win is to prove that my ex is a danger to the kids' safety, which probably won't ever happen. In lieu of all of that, I simply focus on being the best dad that I can be with the time that I get with my kids. They will be minors for only their first 18 years, whereas I am their dad forever. Socks, fit size 612 bullshit. Also unrealistically low serving sizes on packs of crisps or candy. They do this just so they can put the number of calories fat sugar per serving as a lower number. I saw an off-brand Oreo that said 1/3 the calories per serving as Oreo. Their serving size was 1. Oreo's was 3. Data caps on home internet. We have a 120 GB data cap for a family of 6. In lockdown, the provider had a promotion where everyone got unlimited data, including us. We have tried to upgrade to an unlimited plan, but they gave some BS excuse about how the server traffic is clogged, like it was completely fine for the promotion. I am 99% sure they know we always pay extra for data after we run out and don't want us to save money by upgrading. Edit. I appreciate everyone suggesting me to tell the provider to shove it, but I failed to mention that I'm 15 and that's up to my parents. This one is so underrated. Obviously, it's a scam for ISPs to steal more money from its customers. Robocalls, bothering someone with something they paid for. And now I'm getting robo-texts several times a day. I really have to get around to buying that extended car warranty. Being penalized for calling out sick from work. Edit. Even while the whole world is trying to survive this pandemic, we're still dealing with this major issue by employers. I work in healthcare, and I feel like I get shamed by my managers and co-workers when you call out, especially when you work night shift. Within the last year or so, we had a new boss come in and take over operations at my office. One of the first things she did was scrap the whole "you have X amount of points you're allowed to call out in a year" policy that has been in place for forever. She set it up so that you aren't penalized for calling out, only repeat patterns. Say you keep calling out every Monday for a month. She will then get in contact with you to understand why and see if you want to switch one of your days off to Monday. Everyone at my office agrees that she's done wonders to reduce the stress with little things like that. Honestly surprised more companies don't follow that idea. Alternatively, the shop workers at my company get the same penalty for being late as calling out. So if they are gonna be late, they just tail the whole day off. Also, their vacation time is use it or lose it. But they discourage vacations most of the year, so that people are forced to tail it in December. When we are at our busiest, they treat us salaried people pretty well, but the hourly workers get shit on. Selling textbooks at ridiculous prices, or selling a new copy every year with no significant change. The true crime. buying a book for $300 and 6 months later it's worth $50. Congress members being able to trade stocks at the same time they are receiving intelligence and passing laws that could affect the performance of said stocks. This isn't legal, they're just never actually held accountable, which makes it even more infuriating. Civil asset seizure by police, no crimes needed. They have actually stolen more than your run-of-the-mill criminal burglars have in past couple years. https://www. Washington Post. Com News Wonk WP the 23rd of November 2015. Cops took more stuff from people than burglars did last year /edit. Can't recommend this podcast enough. 4-part episode on the police. Really makes you realize how this culture has been compounding for years. https://www. Stitcher.com show Behind the Bastards episode Behind the Police Slavery Mass Murder and the Birth of American Policing 71,156,966 taxpayer funded street gang. Should also be infuriating to anyone that in 35 states they can legally have sex with people that are in their custody. One chick that was trying to come forward about being raped, they just threw out the back of a moving car to kill her. https://www. SACB.com News Nation World National Article 238,839,513. HTML. Whilst I appreciate there are some legitimate benefits of this, such as when a quite obvious drug baron is hiding his court-worthy evidence too well, civil asset forfeiture really is open to abuse. It's crazy there's a legal situation where a law official comes to your home, sees your stuff and just takes it. Unskippable double ads. YouTube's also getting real comfortable with almost 30 seconds unskippable ads. Yes. And their 5-second skip button is getting less frequent and also seems to last longer than 5 seconds. Marital rape and honor killings in countries like the one I live in, generally the Middle East. Most of that stuff is in the process of being banned now. Thank God. When I was in middle school or high school, they tried to introduce a law that said a girl must be 18, I think, to be married. The men of the government and religious officials objected so hard that the law got thrown out. This was the year after the story came out about that one 9-year-old kid that was forced into a marriage and the man would chain her and whatnot. What the actual F? Sometimes I don't understand humanity. Child beauty pageants. They are illegal in France since 2013. Edit. So far I got 15 comments about cuties. Good. The troubled teen industry. Parents pay a company to kidnap kids while they're sleeping and send them off to therapeutic boarding schools where they are abused in every conceivable way. It's ducked. Wait, what? My brain is so confused. This exists? Like, sure, troubled teen boarding school. Probably a super ducked place, but whatever. I get how it can exist. It's that kidnapping part I'm pretty confused by. It's called a teen escort company and it's every bit as messed up as it sounds. And it's perfectly legal. Co-workers that don't shower. Co-workers that don't flush the toilet. Co-workers that piss on the seat and don't clean it off. Dog ear cropping and cat declawing. Edit. I'm in the USA and a registered veterinary nurse. It's brutal. Don't forget tail docking. That should only be done in cases of happy tail, which I've seen in several clients. We had a Great Dane that they had to dock his tail because he kept whipping it against the wall, causing it to bleed. You know how when you commit a crime and get caught, you get charged in the country where you committed the crime. So if you murder someone, you'll get charged in said country. And then there are the international waters. Every ship above 100 GT have to be registered. And if it's registered, the laws of the country where it's registered apply to the ship. But if you had a smaller boat, no laws apply. But if you killed someone on said ship, you'd be charged in the country where the person is a citizen. But there are ways someone can lose their citizenship in certain countries. And thereby, if I kill a citizenless person on a boat under 100 GT in international waters, even if there was evidence, no one can bring me to court. Thereby, it's legal. Taking notes intensifies. Also, you can kill someone in the death zone in Yellowstone, but that's a well-known perfect crime. Sweatshop labor outsourced by tech and Fortune 500 companies. It's essentially contemporary slavery we collectively allow. But a whole dinner set at Walmart for only $9.95. I'm just gonna have to say little girls' beauty pageants. It just doesn't sit right with me, and not only because of the fact it's creepy, but I feel like it's stressful on the kid and on their body image. Being forced to fork up your personal data and access to everything in your phone to use a stupid app that makes a picture of your dog sing. It should not be allowed at all. Edit. This applies to many apps. I didn't have just one in mind. Going to agree and edit. Having to provide your phone number or email for anything at all that is unnecessary. Sometimes you want to access a site or read an article but you can't because they require you to sign up or something. Super lame. I just don't do it then. Also understand why, but getting tired of these sites that advert 10% off your first order when you sign up for our newsletter. College book prices and practices. Change a few words in a math book. That'll be another $100 please. Oh, you realize that you can use the book from 10 years ago and succeed? Actually, we require you get the new book. Oh, you realized you can get the book cheaper from a friend? Actually, we're doing online books now and you need the personalized code. We change it every year even though there have been no breakthroughs in this subject. Knowing the college struggle, I have no ducking clue how this is allowed to exist. It should literally be illegal. Even worse when professors say you need a certain textbook in a few weeks then they never actually use it. Worst $80 I have ever spent. Or when the professor makes you buy the book and they wrote it. No, not warrants. We've seen time and time again where law enforcement has the wrong address and some innocent person ends up dead because of a logistical mistake. It also makes it so all home intruders have to do is yell police as they break in at 3 AM. These raids also get cops killed a lot, due to looking a lot like home intruders. It also makes it so all home intruders have to do is yell police as they break in at 3 AM. Record scratch. Wait, is this actually a thing? The fact car radio commercials are allowed to have police sirens or car crashes in them as a way to get your attention. As someone who survived a car crash with back damage, I shudder when those ads come on. Like, imagine how someone else who got into a much worse accident would feel. People who have been in accidents don't need a reminder of what it sounded like. Political action committees. 10 years later, it's exactly what people feared. It's so much worse. Marriage. Specifically a 14-YO getting married to a 40-YO with the parents constant. That's just wrong. What's even more messed up is it's usually only done in order to cover up some kind of abuse done to the girl. I mean, it is abuse done to the girl. Spice K2/synthetic weed. This may have changed in the last few years, but I found it embarrassing that our country locks up thousands for actual marijuana but allowed that shit to be sold at every gas station and liquor store, knowing damn good and well that it was hurting and killing people. It was finally banned here, Japan, and then it became a black market drug. Of all the brain dead stupid, the only reason to try spice was that it was a legal alternative to illegal drugs. The shit's horrible, and everyone I know, myself very much included, sooner or later had a very, very bad experience on it. Why would anyone risk breaking the law for a drug that is neither addictive nor fun? Payday loan practices. Technically not illegal, but hella predatory. Our media driving a wedge between the populace to fuel division in order to satisfy ratings, purely for the purpose of entertainment and profit, not facts. Advertisements for prescription medicine help patients lie to their doctors. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. There was a commercial I saw a year ago to help women with endometriosis. I have it and exhausted all other options to help with the pain. The drug that was advertised I brought up to my gynecologist, and it ended up saving me from being in so much pain every day. I also could stop my opioids. The trade blockade over Naboo. Being rude to someone who is just trying to do their job. Also, companies using that politeness to deliver poor service. Almost every customer service rep I've ever talked to has like a line you have to cross in order to get anything beyond generic scripted responses that are designed to make you give up. I honestly think utility companies purposely design their system this way to cheat the customer. Edit. For some reason we've conditioned to feel like it's rude to ask to talk to a supervisor. This kind of mentality is weird because 90% of your problems can't be handled by a frontline service rep. They don't have authorization to make any sort of decision that isn't in a manual in front of them. Supervisors love this barrier and conditioning because that means they don't have to do any real work except make sure their employees are miserable. Groom your stepdaughter for over a decade. Then when she's 18, divorce her mom and hook up with your stepdaughter. Woody Allen has arrived. I see. This sounds more like a step-by-step tutorial than an answer. We've investigated ourselves and decided we didn't do anything wrong. Paying child support for a child that was conceived during an affair and isn't yours. Conversion therapy. Hey, let's make children hate themselves so much that they'll either lie about who they are for the smallest crumbs of validation or just commit sucked. Either way, that's one less gay to worry about. Now excuse me as I go throw up. Lobbying. Wages for full-time jobs that don't even cover basic living costs. In the US, people going bankrupt and losing their homes over medical bills. You can look up where anyone lives because it's public record. But can we please not have entire websites with databases full of every person in the country? I mean, think about people who get denied restraining orders and try to move away from their abuser. 6 months later and their abuser can just look up their name and find them all over again. This could be detrimental for spouse abuse victims, stalking victims, etc. Something should be done about them. It's terrifying. Civil asset forfeiture. It is un-American. Legalized theft. Payday loans. Old legally blind folks driving cars. US employers can do seriously horrible things and treat their employees like shit, all within the confines of the law. In some states you can be handcuffed, in custody, and be legally recognized as being able to give consent to a cop who sexually assaults you. You can be literally restrained. A cop can take advantage of you and it not be considered de facto rape. Additionally, there are states where, if you give birth to a child caused by an assault, the perpetrator or his family has the legal right to fight for custody, visitation, etc. Edit. New York is one of many states that has one of those laws per comment below. I thought NY had both, but they changed the law in 2018 so only the second one applies to NY state, not both. www.NYDailyNews.com. New York NY passes bill barring cops sex detainees. Article 1. 3,906,874. As I sit here smoking cigarettes, duck cigarettes, and duck big tobacco. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.